My favorite memory with like queer stuff on campus, I would probably say, I mean, I really liked doing the drag shows, but I also really liked the spoken word coming out month event that was last year, I want to say. It was a year ago. I really like spoken word, and there are not many queer identified spoken word artists that are popular or out. To see more than 2 of them in a space at once was really fun and really liberating in a way, just like raw anger, raw love, and all that kind of stuff.
I think a lot of my memories have come from like fusion specifically. Specifically, I think one of the fusions that will always resonate with me is when, I need to say his name, but when our current president got elected, I don't know, I think I kind of needed that space after like the election results like came out. I think it was kind of like a good mixture of being able to grieve but also heal, because I think even in that meeting like we were laughing, which was, I don't know, I feel like that was the space like I needed in that moment. Yeah.
I'd have to say my favorite memory of the center is when me and a few other people who were fans of Steven Universe kind of like took over Fusion and turned it into a Steven Universe viewing party, and we like kind of convinced the center to watch like 2 episodes. Yeah, it was great. It was great. We watched a couple episodes. A whole bunch of people most of the people hadn't seen any episodes yet, so it was really fun. And then later on during the study break, I came in and people were watching Steven Universe again.
My favorite memory of the LGBT Resource Center is actually this year, and it was in October, and I had been co-facilitating this group with this senior undergrad, and she showed up.
Oh God.
She seemed a little like out of sorts. She was a little sweaty, and she was wearing these like bike shorts, and I just had this vision in my mind of like, I think I could like marry this woman.
She's talking about me. I think my favorite memory involving the LGBT Resource Center would also be from Cross Q Connections. This first meeting, I sort of didn't expect anybody to come, and then we couldn't fit them in the room. It opened my eyes even to just to how big the community is, and sort of how the Resource Center acts as a locus at certain times, but we are so expansive, and yeah, that was a cool moment.
My favorite memories here at the center, they all are probably either fusion memories or they're like the first ice cream social memories. So many, I can't even think. Someone hosted like a kickback at their house on South one time, and then there's like everybody, I don't think I went to that fusion, but like everyone who went to fusion was there afterwards, and I just appeared later, and like it was like fusion again, and except for like we were like not talking about like social justice issues or whatever, and so that was pretty fun. Anything that we had like outside of the space to like make a community was probably the best times.
My main plan is right now I'm just waiting on funding and loan offers and stuff to go through, but I plan on going down to SUNY Binghamton, studying student affairs administration and public affairs. Hopefully to do something like this and acknowledge the violence and kind of, I'm not allowed to swear, the violence and fucked up nature of academia for like marginalized students, and how like academia is not built for us, and really like acknowledging that. And I would love to build, I mean, I don't know if I'm building a university from the ground up, but like changing a university to be actually for the students it claims it supports, and making cultural centers actually like built for the enjoyment that they should be, rather than the band-aids and like kind of covering students' pains until they get out, like actually making it so cultural centers are there for students' enjoyment rather than pain. I would love to do that, so hopefully that's what I'm doing.
After graduating, I plan to hopefully work in curation in the museum, arts, gallery world for a couple of years, and then either go back to school for film or to just, make it work in New York or Chicago.
I'm like still looking at like grad programs. At this point, like I hear a lot about like social issues, and I've really enjoyed research here in psychology. But like going into grad school at this point, my plans for like I've narrowed down the programs I'd be most interested in. Had to choose between like either sociology, American studies, or women and gender studies, or possibly policy studies. I haven't quite decided yet. But like on my way to making that decision, mainly I want to just focus on like working and volunteering.
I'm gonna be taking a gap year for graduation. I'm gonna be going back home to California, and I'm gonna be doing a program known as City Year, where we get to work in a Los Angeles school. So I'm really pumped about that because that aligns with like my career goals.
Make good use of the free food available to you now. That's something I've been doing a lot recently. I've got better advice than that too, though. Do you have anything immediate that you can think of?
I mean, if I had any words of advice, I guess some wisdom that I picked up along the way is that we grow a lot every year, and we grow out of things, but sometimes we grow back into them. It's okay to have to go and revisit things that hurt you before, and we need community to do that, so find that where you can.
The advice I have for people on campus, I guess for my cutie pox on campus, I would say mostly find your resources, find your family, stick with them. They will help you, guide you through any times, good or bad.
As someone who transferred here from a much, much smaller college of about 3,000 people, I would say that, it's a long time ago someone told me you can't make a small school big, but you can make a big school small. And I definitely found that to be true. I think one of the best ways to like socially acclimate yourself to a school that has so many people and so many organizations and so many different like places to be, I think it's important to like just explore your interests like openly, like just because like I've met many friends by like coming here to the center, coming to like the social groups, going to events, getting involved in things I care about. Like your friend search doesn't necessarily have to begin and end within your dorm. You can like just join clubs, organizations, and like this big university with so many people will start to become smaller and smaller when you like get out there and find people who care about the stuff you care about.
Find your space, and it's a lot harder than it sounds. It's so easy to say, but find your space. For me, I like had space in like Pride Union and all that, but I didn't find my space until I was like in Embody and like doing more things just to build community rather than running an org and doing all the logistic stuff on top of it, allowing myself just to kind of exist in the space and hold space in spaces that were for me was really important and kind of really benefited for my self-identity since it was a little bit later coming than others. So I'd say find your space, and that doesn't have to be at the Resource Center. As long as you have a good core community that at least somehow justifies or that justifies your experience, it justifies your existence. It can be a wide range of spaces, but I mean for me it was a core space that I needed. But as long as you have a space to exist as your complete self, I think you'll at least move on through the 4 years at an easier pace. Might not be super easy, but it'll at least lessen the blow of academia.
I would just say like really use the Resource Center to build community, because I think I didn't realize that I was very uncomfortable with being out and queer until like I came to the Resource Center, and I realized how I saw people like being really comfortably queer in public spaces, and I think that kind of motivated me to be more political about my queerness, but also be more like comfortable in telling people that I am queer if I can, And I think I don't know, the resource center kind of gave me that. So like, I hope if for all the people who come here, they kind of get that motivation too, because that's what I got from the resource center. Yeah.
Make our own way.